How do you guys navigate like your parents' expectations, or especially our African parents, you know, expectations?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I think for me, one thing that helped is that so my mom, she doesn't, I'm not sure if she's fully aware of how much of a dreamer she actually is. Yeah, and I think, and that's where I get my dreaming from, is by seeing her pursue her dreams. It's just that like, fortunately for her, her dream is a career that is more accepted. So her dream was to be a doctor and in the medical field and all of that. And so I think approaching it from that perspective of like, remember the time when you were pursuing your dream and like all the obstacles you faced. That's how I feel about this. As strongly as you feel about what you're doing in medicine, this is how strong I feel about this. And another conversation I was having with my parents is for asking them to think of it in the sense that they have given me the privilege to pursue self-actualization. So you know that like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and like the bottom is like, I don't know, like food and shelter, and then it goes up and up and up. And at the top of the hierarchy of needs is self-actualization. My pursuit is self-actualization, pursuing my dream. And that's a privilege because not everyone gets that privilege. And then also my parents have seen like how happy I am. And that has helped.
Yeah.
Probably a bit similar to me is I feel like my parents have, I don't know, like modeled a certain like courage and daring in living, and specifically modeled through faith. And what does it mean to dream about something and act as if it has already happened, you know? And so I feel like that's a principle that I've always grown up with. That my parents have always like nursed and nurtured us with. And I think a lot about, you know, our prayer items. And I think of our prayer items as like a vision board, dreams, you know. And my mom and my dad, you know, they always like, especially my mom, she always asks like, you know, what are your prayer items? What do you want? Especially at the beginning of the year, you know, and we can write whatever we want to write, you know. And that's something that's always been a part of like growing up. You know, at the beginning of every year, even like this, my mom was like, what are your prayer items? And so, and I still need to say them to her.
But you're gonna.
Yeah, so I feel like that's sort of been like deeply like etched in me.
So I had like, my father called me. I love my dad. My dad calls me. He says, you know, I woke up this morning and I was thinking, if you had stayed right now, you'd probably be like the managing director of a pharmaceutical company. You'd be buying you'd be driving a Range Rover. You could buy me a Range Rover. You'd be earning like $100K now. Like, I was just thinking about that. And I'm like, like, thank you for sharing all of that. How do you guys, and for me, I've really had to take my dad through the process of letting it go. Letting him realize that I'm all of 33. It's my life. I tried your way. I tried the world's way. I was not happy. And nobody's knocked me over the head. I'm not brainwashed. I walked into this conscious, you know, and I've had to take him through that, and I'm seeing him come around. And it's so freeing.
Because I'm living in a different generation to my parents.
Yeah.
In different times. Sometimes the desires that I have aren't necessarily fully aligned with, some of the desires they have for me, you know? I think the relationship between, like my own desires and like my parents' desires, there's sort of, there are times when they meet, and then there are times when they're like collide, and, and I think that's the nature of the relationship. But then I also think the thing that drives both of them is also, like, I know my parents, they want the best for me.
Yeah.
And they want me to follow my heart, and to pursue my dreams, and, but sometimes they just in this like, they exist in this like turbulence.
Yeah.
But then it's like, I can only do what I can do because of how they raised us, and this is all I know. This is all I know, So yeah, so it's been an interesting journey.
I don't know how you guys feel, but when I go back home, I find that that's when that pressure is like the most intense. When, my parents are looking at my friends who are, now like senior investment bankers, and they're kind of like, oh, we thought our daughter was also going to be in that position, and unfortunately, yes, we have a more materialistic approach to what success looks like. And so I think for me is like trying to not let that pressure me.
Making sure that I'm not comparing myself to those around me. And that my journey is different, and to look at exactly what has been provided.